Oh man, things are looking good for Cardano. So officially, as of 20 past 8 UTC, the Cardano testnet now officially supports Plutus, which is their offering of smart contracts. So finally, Cardano are now getting closer to the to the kind of Ethereum setup of smart contract. They're still well behind, but this was a massive, and this is what all of us Cardano investors were waiting for. So I'm up massive right now on Cardano as we've broken the $3 mark. But this is massive. So this has gone ahead. It says final testing and integrations ahead. SBOs will now upgrade their mainnet nodes. Then the next stop is the mainnet upgrade, still on track for 12th of September. So this is another one of those kind of, we saw the growth in the lead up to this news. People are buying the rumors of this news, and they're also buying the fact that it's actually happened. So buy the rumors, buy the news. This is massive for Cardano, and we've just broken all-time highs again. If you look at the daily chart, we've just been on a tear. Ever since we broke the kind of this resistance mark I had in the green of 2.44, it's just been getting stronger and stronger. I hate to say it, but we're probably due a correction at some point. RSI is fairly high. You can see similar to previous peak back in, it's not been this high since February when it went on its previous tear, but we saw that it kept going even when it was at that point. You can see that it carried on running before coming down for a bit of a correction here. So if we look at that correction there, you can see that that was almost roughly 38% correction. So if we do get a 38% correction, which we should always be prepared for at any given time so we don't panic, a 38% correction can potentially bring us back to about $2. Okay, so we shouldn't be worried if we correct back to $2 and back up again. That's just part of the momentum we need to gather. But back to the positive news, looking at how we broke out, look at that. As we went through, as the news was announced, you can see a massive 4-hourly candle there, breaking through that resistance. Well, there was no resistance. There was some previous resistance here at kind of 295, broke through that level and took us higher, which is really great news. So kind of looking at where we're at now, you can see on the hourly chart, we broke that, what we were talking about there, the 295 resistance, kind of created a new top here at 3.09, coming down for a bit of a cool off, and then see if we can head higher. But this is great news for Cardano, smart contracts, and Plutus. It's a big step. I mean, like we've said with Cardano, a lot of people that were in Cardano for the longest time, including myself, when it wasn't doing anything as far as Ethereum maximalists were concerned, and Cardano doesn't do anything. What's the point? It needs to do anything. They were actually right. Until Cardano launches these smart contracts and actually has a working blockchain, then there is no value. But those of us who understood that early, saw what Charles Hodgkinson and the team were working on, we had the foresight to understand that this is what they're working on. They're taking their time doing it. They're not going to be rushed to then make a mistake. And these are the benefits you get. You get slow, methodical. This is the date we're going to launch. We're going to launch this date. It works. Move on to the next. And I think that's really giving the market confidence with Cardano. We've seen with Ethereum a good couple of false starts. I mean, fundamentally, we saw the block size issue. We saw the issue with the hack when Ethereum then hard forked. We saw the issue with Ethereum moving from proof of work to now Ethereum 2.0 proof of stake. These are all the things that Cardano are trying to avoid by going through a peer-reviewed, research, thoroughly based roadmap, which they're taking their time on. They won't be rushed by the market. You can see Charles Hodgkinson is not massively inclined by the price. He's just focused on doing the right thing by what he's building the project around, and he's trying to achieve those objectives. And I think that's what's leading to this growth here for Cardano. And just on top of that, we look at that. I mean, if you look at that, it's been an absolute tear. Cardano has been a great investment. And similarly, Solana. I mean, just whilst we're on here anyway, let's take a look at Solana. Solana's been another tear. And this is the theme right now, is these level 1 blockchains, so-called Ethereum competitors. These are the ones that are on tears right now. And you can see Solana's kind of cooled off a little bit, expected after the massive tear it's been on. We reached a high on that candle of 130, believe it or not, on Solana. I was buying this on the high 20s, low 30s. So my cost basis is about $30, which you'd have to go all the way back to get how far back would you? Yeah, so kind of you'd have to go quite far back, at least till July, to be getting Solana at those kind of prices when nobody was interested. But since then, it's been on a massive tear. And if we just take that from this point here, let's use the 27 mark here. you can see that is up to the 130 point. It's a 375, so you're nearly 4x your money. Up to that point, you've easily 3.5x your money. Now, naturally, based on Fibonacci rules, you're going to have a bit of a correction. You can see we've come down, retested at the Fibonacci, the EMA ribbon, and we're going to bounce back higher. So this bounce has to take it beyond this kind of 125 level for us to push higher. It's good because the RSI here, you can see it was absolutely super high. The RSI it's not sustainable at this point here, so it's good that that's managed to, if I just move me out the way, you can see that the RSI is cooling off a little bit, which will give us some breathing room to then go on another uptick further up. So things are looking good for the layer one solutions out there. Ethereum itself pumping really high yesterday. Actually, let's take a look at Ethereum while we're here. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, just move all your Ethereum into Cardano or into Solana. I don't advocate that. Ethereum is still the second biggest market cap crypto. It's way ahead. If you look at the volume locked, OpenSea, the NFTs, gaming, Uniswap, DeFi, it is massive. And for you to be selling your Ethereum, and I've seen some prominent channels out there advocating you sell your Ethereum for some Cardano or Solana. I believe in Cardano and Solana. I've got big bags of those too. But Ethereum is a bigger position. It's the more stable coin. And it wouldn't make sense from a portfolio perspective to be selling all your Ethereum. By all means, don't add as much to it and add more to your Cardano and Solana if you're more risk averse. But you can't be bailing out on Ethereum. I mean, look at that. Just when you start bailing out, it goes on a tear. I mean, just there, you're looking at in 3 days, you're looking at 20% gain on your Ethereum. That is massive. Where are you getting that on such a stable coin, which doesn't have the downside potential that a Solana has or another layer one solution? So a big move there by Ethereum to 3740. What does that mean on the daily chart? We can still see we've got a long way to go to that all-time high, but that all-time high really did come in an inorganic way. I mean, it really was just a ridiculous tear that Ethereum went on at the time. And so it'll be good to see us kind of, I don't want to go up as steeply as this. We want to go up in a nice, steady way. I'm happy for it to come, test the EMA ribbon, kind of hover up and down like this, and then get to this kind of 4186 line before we can build higher. But a lot of potential in there. Ethereum's not even at all-time highs. RSI is not at the highest it's been. We can see here when it really raged up to the all-time high, we still got some breathing room, 83.93 on the RSI mark, and we're currently sitting at 73.25. And this is what Ethereum's capable of. It's capable of these really big moves when it feels like it and when it wants to. And it doesn't really need any news to move. Everybody knows it's a solid blockchain. It's where all the value is locked. We know EIP 1559 is causing a lot of Ethereum to be burnt. We know there's a lot of the trend searches for NFTs are starting to pick back up again after its peak euphoria earlier in the year. So things are trending up for level ones and Ethereum, Cardano, and Solana. So I don't think this is the right time to kind of pick one and start taking sides. I think the space as a whole, you should be diversified in your portfolio to have good exposure to all of these level ones. And just generally, I mean, just looking at the crypto space, we really are in a real tear right now. I mean, we are in altcoin season by definition, but Bitcoin decided to pick up today as well and move 5%. So retesting that 50,000 level mark. Let's take a look at the charts for Bitcoin. You can see here, my Bitcoin chart is the most messiest. So if you look here, we've come back up, we broke out this trend, we've come back up to retest it, and we just need to be careful. Are we going to get rejected here again? That's what we want to be looking at here. So we had this head and shoulders bring us down. We kind of came back into the trend, fell back out of the trend, rallying back up to the bottom of this trend line. Is this going to retest and get rejected at the $50,000 mark again? Or have we got enough energy to break through? My concern here at this point is this RSI has just spiked, right? This is a really instantaneous, quick 5-6% up. And I don't know if we're going to have the momentum to break through. I would much rather see a really patient build up, like I said, with Ethereum to go and break this 50,000 mark. But we're sitting at just underneath 50,000. We got to break this level. I mean, it's almost our third time coming up trying. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit difficult to see where we head from here. And just looking at the kind of macro view on the daily chart for Bitcoin, we can see where we're at. I mean, the days of us being at 28,000 feel like a long way away. Back up at 50, a lot more people are now in profits and showing green, regardless of pretty much where they bought, unless you bought right at the top here. But even if you bought right at the top here, you're not seeing massive losses. You're seeing probably 15 to 20% losses on your portfolio, which for crypto, as silly as it sounds, is kind of digestible, and you can easily see us kind of getting up to the breaking the 50 mark, getting up to this next resistance level, which is almost the 59. There's a good bit of white space here for us to really start growing through once we can get through this 50, but everything hinges on getting through this 50 mark first. Okay, so we've got to break that point here. Looking at some of the big movers in the altcoins. So we spoke about the level 1 solutions, Cardano, Solana. We know they're on a tear. Dogecoin has been quietly picking back up again. Like you can see, it's almost 50% up over the month. Another good 7% 24 hours, which is really good. Solana, like we discussed, has had its calling off period. We can see Polkadot has finally started to move. We were waiting for this one to move, and it's really started to pick up now, which is great. Like I always mentioned, you should have this in your portfolio. I'm going to be releasing a video about how to structure your altcoin portfolio, so stay tuned for that one and make sure you're subscribed to watch that one. Chainlink moving as well, 30% in 30 days, which is good. You can't complain. Terra Luna was on an absolute tear, and it's just kind of cooling off a little bit now. So all's looking good in altcoin world. Crypto market cap is now 2.23 trillion. Bitcoin coming back to that 1 trillion mark. And we just need Bitcoin to keep moving. We need Bitcoin to keep steadily moving to give altcoins the room to grow at a faster rate than Bitcoin. And apart from that, things are looking good. We can't complain. The SEC are still talking about regulations, which we know is going to happen, but the crypto market don't care. There's nothing new, nothing which is going to shock us. We know it's the solution. We know it's the future. And all the use cases are just proliferating. The adoption's growing day by day from institutions, from companies, from individuals. People are more familiar with it. More people understanding where an NFT is, what DeFi is, what dApps are. People understanding how to download a MetaMask and set up their MetaMask wallet, how to use Coinbase, or whether it's Robinhood, PayPal now getting people into crypto. We're hearing of good news around a Bitcoin futures ETF, which is a good first step towards getting an actual Bitcoin ETF. So we're looking good. So there's your crypto update. Just wanted to touch upon a few things there. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.